Hey everyone, almost a full year ago now, I bought this iPhone, and since then, I've taken it all around the world. Japan, New York, Vancouver, Germany, Italy, Monaco, Paris, London, Copenhagen, and of course, I use it every single day here in Toronto. This is of course the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and it's sort of my ultimate travel device that I just can't live without. So in this video, I want to show you the ways that I use my iPhone while traveling, some of my journeys, some of the essential accessories that I always bring with me, and a good look at the power of these iPhone cameras. And this video is sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash that I use every single day when I shower at home, and I bring it on trips in a travel-sized bottle. It helps me feel fresh and clean when I'm traveling, especially after a long day, and I'll talk more about it later on in this video. So shortly after getting the 16 Pro Max, I went on a trip to Japan, and it was my first real chance to actually travel with this phone and enjoy it fully. I went to Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, and of course I brought my iPhone along with me. I loaded my Suica card right into the device, so paying for public transit was super easy, and it got me around on trains and buses. I also of course took so many photos and videos, and I absolutely love Japan, from the eating to the shopping, visiting some really beautiful spots. It's a magical place. I think my next trip is probably going to be back to Japan. Then over the next few months, there was even more travel. I hit New York City a couple times, as well as Vancouver very briefly, as well as a quick stop in Stuttgart, Germany. And of course, I also took a lot of photos. And surprisingly enough, I've really been enjoying the camera control on this device. Now, not for any of the touch or swipe gestures, I turned that off immediately as soon as I could, but just for like quickly activating the camera, it is definitely quite handy so I don't miss any shots while I'm on the go. I had two big work projects in Stuttgart with Mercedes-Benz, and we were shooting the CLA reveal video, as well as a sort of vlog with the S-Class. I had a chance to go through the Mercedes-Benz Museum at night, capturing some of the crazy cars throughout history. I may have made a stop at the Porsche Museum too, because when you're in Stuttgart, you gotta check it out. Now, travel and work started to really pick up in the spring of this year, and I started to get really busy. And one of the trips was a last-minute offer to fly to Monaco with Jaguar for their Formula E race series. And I had really known nothing about Monaco. I'd never been before, never really even heard of the place until like very recently. So, of course, I said yes. And this trip was actually insane. It was a lot of fun, but also some long days relying heavily on the iPhone's battery. Sometimes from early morning to late at night we were out, either on the track with Jaguar or I was just exploring on my own. And I gotta say, the 16 Pro Max has aged battery-wise very well over the past year. Like, compared to other iPhones I've used, this one still maintains a charge even almost a full year later. It's pretty impressive. And on long days of shooting photos and videos, navigating with maps, and exploring all these brand new places, it's been very dependable. Monaco itself, though, was a truly surreal experience. Like, the scenery is beautiful, there's water, there's all these nice hills, just gorgeous, gorgeous streets, but it's also just like filled with so much wealth. Like, there's just an obscene amount of money. The cars, the casinos, the restaurants, everything is on another level, and so are all the prices for everything too. I spent some time with some wonderful creators, did so much walking around and exploring, and I've never really been anywhere quite like Monaco. I had a pretty nice time at the hotel too. We're here in Monaco in beautiful France, and it is absolutely incredible here. I mean, the hotel room I'm in right now is the biggest hotel I've ever been in, the craziest hotel. Bigger than my apartment, bigger than my studio probably, like it's massive, just gorgeous. Right across the street is the casino, and like there's the craziest cars out there. Not bad. Like this is paradise. This is basically paradise. We're out here. This was was a fairly short trip, only a couple days, I think about 3 days total, so I just brought the essentials with me. I brought my suitcase from MVST, which is very clean and minimal. It's a plastic suitcase. I don't really mess with the metal suitcases. I've tried them all. Not really for me. I prefer just like a zipper, plastic, it flexes, it's super durable. I'm a plastic suitcase guy, forever. I also brought my clothes in a vacuum seal bag. I brought several MagSafe battery packs, which are my favorite way to quickly charge up my phone on long days when I'm out and about. I also brought this Nomad foldable charger, which is super thin, with enough power to charge both my phone and laptop, alongside these retractable USB C cables, which are full-size cables, but they're nice and compact when you don't need them. I also brought along my MacBook, iPad mini, and AirPod Maxes for the flight, an outlet converter, of course, definitely an essential, as well as a clothing steamer that's quite compact because you can't be walking around Monaco with wrinkled clothes out of your suitcase. That's just, it's not gonna work. And of course my toiletries in this bag from Orbitkey. I got my toothbrush, toothpaste, electric razor, travel size bottles of shampoo, conditioner, and of course my Dove Men Plus Care body wash in a travel size bottle. And as I mentioned earlier, Dove Men Plus Care is the sponsor of this video. And of course there are 3 different scents here. There's the eucalyptus and cedar oil, the sandalwood and cardamom oil, and of course my personal favorite, the blood orange and sage, which I use every single day. Made with natural plant-based moisturizers and cleansers, and essential oils to add a really nice scent and relaxing atmosphere to your showers. And all of these body wash options help you get clean, help you smell great, and they're also good for your skin too, helping to moisturize your body. And my skin has definitely felt smoother and healthier after switching to this body wash, and I hop out the shower smelling like blood orange and sage. I mean, you can't really complain about that. And after a long day of traveling and shooting, especially in some of these warmer places, all that I think of is just hopping in the shower, getting fresh and clean, and of course this body wash is a great companion for that. And that's why it's also my go-to body wash that I pack in a travel-sized bottle when I'm away from home, so I can smell great, I can feel great, and I'm a big fan of this stuff. And the bottle as well is also 100% recycled plastic, so that's pretty good. If you're interested in Dove's Men Plus Care body wash, head to the link in the description down below to check it out for yourself. Okay, now back to my journeys with the iPhone. Now, shortly after Monaco, I was actually back in France, this time in Paris, and I've been before, but I didn't really appreciate the city as much as I could have. This time though, I absolutely loved it. Paris really is stunning. It's one of the most beautiful cities I've ever been, with its mix of modern and classic architecture, amazing clothing stores, some of the best food I've ever had, and even though it was a short trip, I really enjoyed it. I was there for a very brief work meeting on one of the days, but I had a few days to still walk around and explore, and I relied heavily on my iPhone for navigation and battery life. And Paris now has a really easy to use transit system where you just load a ride onto a mobile card in your Apple Wallet and you just tap to pay, it deducts it, it's that simple. It was much easier to get around on this trip to Paris than my first time that I went. This just made it so much simpler. And one of the biggest reasons I went with this Pro model iPhone was for the camera quality, especially having that telephoto zoom, which will supposedly get even better on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I rely heavily, as you can tell, on this phone for photos and videos. Paris is the first place that I've been in a while where I felt like honestly I could live there and be very happy. Now, something I recommend when doing a lot of traveling is to get an eSIM because it makes a lot more sense than what I'm doing, which is just constantly roaming. I also do occasionally use a VPN, especially if I'm trying to access content from Canada and I'm in like Japan, for example. It doesn't really work out so well. One of my big true vacations for this year was actually to Italy, and we hit Naples, Milan, Sorrento, and Positano. And all of them were incredibly beautiful. Now, some spots were insanely touristy this year, like more touristy than normal, but we still enjoyed our time, and I know, I am a tourist of course, but I am half Italian, so I guess that's fair. But the food, the photos, and the overall experience, I'd say, made it still pretty much worth it. I did actually have a chance to relax a bit though, which was nice. We also stayed in this really tiny but still quite cool and very well laid out loft in Milan, and I definitely stay there again. Now, between all these trips, I've of course been working at home here in Toronto at my home and at my studio. And I use my iPhone cameras for every Instagram or TikTok video I post, and for a lot of YouTube videos as well. I use the rear cameras and surprisingly actually the front camera, which is quite good these days for shooting videos. And the secret to having good video quality on like Instagram and TikTok, just shoot in 4K 60. That is the ultimate hack for great video quality if you're shooting on your iPhone. 4K 60, upload to Instagram. I don't do any edits on like the colors or the quality. It just always looks pretty good, but only for short form. I would never make you watch like a full YouTube video in 4K 60. That's torture. And a lot of the car related videos that I shoot, I rely almost solely on the iPhone cameras. Especially my day in the life content or car showcases, they're almost all exclusively shot on my iPhone. Rolling shots, walkarounds, it's all really smooth and stable, and the iPhone handles it perfectly without any extra gear. Okay, so this is the brand new 2025 G580 with EQ technology. Basically, an electric G-Wagon. Instead of the rear tire, there's your charger. Also, a moment for the sound of the doors here. Does not have a frunk. We can also toss on some ocean sounds if we want to, you know. Now, my last two trips this year from just a few weeks back were London and Copenhagen, Denmark. London was very short, like maybe a day and a half I had total to go out and explore by myself. The main reason I was there was for an event with nothing, to see the new phone and headphones, but I packed in some time visiting some museums, galleries, had some good walks, and good food. I really had a good time in London. I only wished I was there for longer, basically. But straight from London, I was off to Copenhagen with Mercedes-Benz once again. This time it was a big work trip. We shot a full YouTube video in 2 days, all about the new CLA, driving it all around Copenhagen, mixing footage from my Sony FX30, DJI Osmo, with clips from my iPhone as well, woven in. In some of these rolling shots, we had to get really creative because we had a very small crew, meaning it was just me and my friend Liam. And I had Liam hop on a Lime bike and trail behind me or in front of me with the iPhone in hand, and honestly, he killed it. The shots look crazy good considering we shot them on a phone and on a city bike, basically. And as I've said many times before, the iPhone's video quality is very impressive, and sometimes it's a perfect camera to weave in a couple shots here and there into a much longer video with professional cameras. Because of its size, because of its ease of use, it just works out perfectly sometimes to get those action shots. And to stay on track with this absolutely massive shoot of a full YouTube video, bunch of short form content, bunch of photos, I had all of my shots in a shot list in the Notes app, and I just checked things off throughout the day very easily. So the iPhone kept me on track, helped me get around with maps, and also helped me get a couple shots for this video. Now, obviously I couldn't have shot the whole video on my iPhone, but it was very handy for a couple shots here and there. I also had some time to explore Copenhagen by myself and really see the city's mix of classic architecture, which is beautiful, and also like ultra modern, like super modern architecture, and it was just an amazing place to wander around. Copenhagen was easily one of the most beautiful places I've visited this year so far. So I've been pretty much all around the world with this iPhone. It's probably my most traveled device ever, honestly, and the device that I rely on the most while traveling. I use it every day at home, for work, for fun, and when I'm traveling, it's my #1 device for capturing memories, navigating, and discovering new places. And I know like this iPhone compared to the previous version was not like a massive leap forward, not really a massive upgrade, but it's been one of the best experiences for a daily phone that I've had in a long time. And yes, I know the new iPhone 17 series is coming out in just a few weeks, and maybe it's already out by now by the time you're watching this video, but I still think it's fun to look back at how I've used this phone throughout my year for all the things that I do. Be sure to stay tuned because this fall there's a lot of really exciting content coming up with all of these brand new devices, so be sure to subscribe, be sure you're locked in. there's a lot on the way. And I also got to say, of course, a huge thank you to all of you out there for supporting my videos, watching my content, leaving a like, subscribing, all that fun stuff, because it lets me go on these adventures. I get to explore and I get to share them with you as well. So a huge thank you for everything, for all your support. And if you like this video, be sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, once again, thank you for watching.